Nicole Frank. I graduated from Flagler College with a major in elementary ed special education and a minor in psychology. I chose to have a minor in psychology to have a background on understanding how kids develop in the processes they go through. I've always had the dream of becoming a teacher, but it wasn't until the summer of 9th grade that I decided to become an ESC teacher, and I have my family to thank for that. Blood is thicker than water. This is a saying that I've grown up hearing my whole life. My family is everything to me, and I wouldn't be anywhere I am today without them. My parents are both in the school system back in my hometown, so I've grown up with teaching surrounding me. Helping the teachers at my school prepare their classrooms for the new school year is my favorite part about summer. I would pretend that their classrooms were like my own classroom, and I was setting them up for my own school year. One of the first clues that teaching was what I was meant to do was when we would go school supply shopping. I found that more exciting than going clothes shopping. I loved getting all the different pencils and pens and the notebooks. The notebooks were my favorite part. So I guess you could say I'm a little excited about school. I was, and still am today, the most excited out of the 3 of my sisters for the new school year to start. Even with all this excitement for school that I've grown up with, I didn't know that ESC was my true calling until my mom arranged for me to volunteer at Paul B. Stevens in Pinellas County. Paul B. Stevens is an exceptionality school. I've never been in an ESC school, let alone an ESC classroom. But my mom knew a teacher that worked there, and I needed to complete some volunteer hours, so she got me assigned to a classroom. I walked into Miss B's 6th grade classroom, and it was like walking into the ocean. There was sand and animals and water everywhere. This was summer school, so they themed the whole entire school ocean themed to go along with this. I was so nervous, I had no idea what I was getting into. The bell rang and the kids started to filter in the classroom. Right away though, the kids came up to me asking me what my name was, asked me why I was there. They were so warming, and their smiles, I'll never forget them. So the weeks went on and I got less nervous as I was there. I would really just sit back in the back of the classroom and just observe, and I was there if they needed help with anything. There was one day they were working on worksheets in their classroom, and there was this girl, Ashley, and she didn't want to do her worksheet at all. The teacher asked me if I would like to help her on her worksheet. Now Ashley has Down syndrome, and she couldn't speak very well, and she can't write either. You have to put your hand over her hand to help her write. It took a lot of work, but I finally got Ashley to complete her worksheet. The joy that I saw in her eyes for completing that made me so thankful that I could help her succeed. From there on out, I would walk into the classroom ready to help any of the kids. They were so joyful and ready to learn, I couldn't help but get excited every day that I went into that class. For the next 4 summers, I volunteered at that school. Even when I completed my hours, I just went in my free time. I just felt like I was meant to be there. I am so ready to get out into my own classroom, and I can't wait to start changing the lives of kids through education. Behind every school and every teacher is a set of related beliefs that influence what and how students are taught. A person's philosophy of education represents his or her ideas about the purpose of school, a student's role in education, and what should be taught and how it should be taught in their classroom. I believe the best way to have this is to have a progressive teaching environment. Progressivism is based largely on the belief that lessons must be relevant to a student in order for them to learn. The curriculum of a progressive school is built around a personal experience, interests, and needs of the students. Students work their hardest when they're doing their best. A progressive teacher keeps a classroom environment where the students are always showing curiosity. In a progressive school, students are actively learning. The students interact with one another and develop social talents such as corroboration and patience for different points of view. In addition, students solve problems in their classrooms similar to those that they will be confronted in their own lives. Progressive teachers believe that education should be the process of unending development, not just preparation for adulthood. In my classroom, I plan to have each student grow at his or her own rate. I'm there to help them grow through their education, not make their education for them. It is my desire for all my students to reach their full potential by providing an environment that is safe, supports risk-taking, and invites sharing ideas. I will do this by letting students learn in the best way that is suitable for them. Most importantly, I will let he or she know no question is a bad question. I believe to get the full understanding, you need to ask all the questions you have about it. As Carl Sagan says, there are naive questions, tedious questions, ill-phrased questions, and even questions put after adequate self-criticism. However, every question is a cry to understand the world. There is no such thing as a dumb question. Progressivism views the students as a dominant focus of a classroom activity. Working with students' curiosity and desires, teachers serve as a guide and an organizer in aiding students to reach their goals. The importance is on the future and the preparation of students to be independent thinkers in their future. Progressivists strive for appropriate hands-on learning experiences. For my classroom, I will have students learning from each other. I'm not the only one that has the right answers. The students have the right answers as well. As Robert Frost says, I am a teacher, but also an awakener. If you were to walk into my classroom today, you would see every single one of my students' brains working to their best abilities.